नमो अर्हन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो वज्रायाणं नमो लोये तपसा तीन भुवन में सरागे ज्ञान का स्वरूप शिव का नमः योग संहार के. Oh, good, very good, everybody. So we had basically seen the human life form yesterday, and we're about to start with the heavenly form of life. We had touched up till now, I think it's 15 verses, and we are about to finish with the two verses, the last two verses of Chedhala part 1, and which is the verse number 16 and the verse number 17. Okay, if anybody has a question, please you can unmute yourself and you can ask me the question. Else we'll just move on. Do you have any question from the human life form?
I have a question. What time is the exam going to be?
Just a second. Just a second, everybody. Just a second. By what name are you, Sachi? Is it with the name Kirpa? Oh yeah, now I saw that. Yeah, Mona. It is.
Mona Sankesla. That's fine.
Go on. Yes, your question. That's okay. Go on with your question.
What day and time is the exam going to be?
Achha, okay, what? Today is a Tuesday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Saturday, yeah. Saturday again.
And what time?
Time, I guess, we'll decide and let you know, maybe 12 as it was previously.
Okay, yeah, sure, that's fine.
12 p.m., yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, any other question? Adi, you have a question? Sorry. Yeah.
I don't have a question.
Thank you very much. Okay. Now let's move on. We were talking about the verse number 16. So before that, there's a small thing that we need to understand, and which is this. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, somebody has again started to play with this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So basically, we were talking about the 4 different types of heavenly life forms. Frankly speaking, we have a very different view of the heavenly life form. We only consider that these people are very good. They all have done good deeds in their lives. So they're going to have, fun in their lives. Everything will be perfect. They'll never have any disease. They'll never have any problems. People are not going to disturb them in any way. They can get their wishes fulfilled. But then basically there are troubles with heavenly life forms too. So now we are going to talk about those troubles that they have to face in their life forms. So with that we begin. There are basic 4 types of heavenly beings. The first one is Bhavanvasi, the second one is Vyantar, the third one is Jyotishi, and the fourth one is Vaimanik. Okay? Out of all these 4, the first three means Bhavanvasi, Vyantar and Jyotishi, these are all called Bhavanatrik. They are called Bhavanatrik. And this Vaimanik is a quite different one from the rest. Okay? So this is how we are differentiating all these heavenly form of lives into two. The first one is Bhavanatrika and the second one is Vaimanika. Yes, Sachi?
How do you spell the word for the three different types of heavenly forms? The first three.
Bhavanvasi, Vyantara and Jyotishi.
Yeah, but what's it called altogether, and how do you spell it?
Yeah, together it is called as Bhavanatrika, and here it is. Some here on the heading. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So yeah. So basically, these are four forms which are considered into two. The first one is Bhavanatrik, and the second one is Vaimanik. The Bhavanatrik are basically divided into three: Bhavanvasi, Vyantar, and Jyotish, and the other one is called as Vaimanik. So all these four forms, we just have to know a small difference and what it is about. The first one is Bhavanvasi. Bhavan in English means castle. You might have heard it in Harry Potter, or you might have heard it in some other place. Bhavan means like those people which have houses with several servants, with several rooms, with several people all around. There are people for as what do we call, there are people who are these bodyguards. There are people who are ministers to them. There are people who are maybe sweepers in their house. There are people who are like servants to them, actually gatekeepers to them. So in that way, it's a complete house, a complete mahal of some raja, a big castle where all the things which are uh, very nouveau-riche can be found. So this is called as Bhavanvasi. So in this particular Bhavanvasi, they live in a particular castle. Now, in that castle, everybody lives. The gatekeeper also lives there. The servants also live there. I mean to say, ministers also live there. Everybody lives there, and hence the reason it is called as Bhavanvasi. There is one head which is called as Indra. There is other head which is called as Pratindra. But rest everybody else are also called as Bhavanvasi only. Okay. The second one is Vyantar. Vyantar, you might have heard a lot about ghosts around you, ghosts which are, unexplainable, but they still are there. People are worried about them as well. So basically, these are nothing but Vyantar Dev. Vyantar Dev can live on trees. They can live, in empty houses. They can live in, left on places. They can live inside a tree. They can live inside a plant, a temple, anywhere. So basically, these are Vyantar, and all these Vyantar basically they reside on this earth, the very earth where we live. And so goes with Bhavanvasi also. Bhavanvasi also live on this earth only. They don't live on the sky. They basically live on the ground only. So this is basically Bhavanvasi and Vyantar. As I had already told you yesterday, that the first type of Bhavanvasi that we know is Asur Kumar. You remember those people who used to go to hell and induce fight among others? You remember Asur Kumar Jati? Yeah, so these are nothing but a subtype of Bhavanvasi. The first one is Bhavanvasi and the subtype to it is Asur Kumar. Clear? I'll just maybe write down a little. Asur, Su, and whatever. So Asur is nothing but it is a type of Bhavanvasi only. Okay. So where do these Bhavanvasi, these Asur live? So these Asur basically live on the second plate of a 3-layer land. The land below us is basically categorized into three levels, three layers. The topmost layer is called as Khar, the second most layer is called as Pank, and the third most layer is called as Abbahul. So Bhavanvasi and Vyantar, these particularly live in the topmost two layers, the Khar and the Pank divisions. So you need not to remember everything about it. You just have to understand that Bhavanvasi and Vyantar, they live on this land only. Okay, that much should be clear to you. Jyotishi. Jyotishi, basically they live from this land. If you go above to the land 790 yojan to 900 yojan, this particular is a belt of Jyotishi Dev. So they really do not live very high in the sky. They live very near to the sky. They live very near to the land. So it's like our sun, the moon, everybody. These are called Jyotish Dev. Okay. Yes, Adi.
Oh, what is the like? How long is a yojan?
Yeah, I thought that question will come up. Generally, in accounting, if you'd ask me, this is basically few kilometers. One yojan is considered to be few kilometers, but this few is nothing less than 500 to 1,000 kilometers. So 790 kilometers is really, really far from it, but still I'm saying it's quite near to us. So that way it is. So you know how long, how far is sun from us? Adi, do you know, according to science, how far is sun from us? It's millions of kilometers.
Meters.
It's millions of kilometers. So, and so is the situation with yojana as well. Okay. Okay. Sachi also wanted to ask a question. Let me just see if her hand is still up. Yes, her hand is up. Yes, Sachi. Oh.
I want to ask, what's a Viman? Is there like an English meaning for it?
I beg your pardon?
Viman, is there like a? I've heard this word in some kind of. Does it mean
We'll come
something
to
else?
we'll come to Vemanik in just a while.
And I have the exact how many kilometers the sun is.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody can have a look over the chat. She had sent. Darshi has told us that the distance between sun and us is basically 151.73 million kilometers. So yeah, it's millions, and so is equivalent to the sun that we believe. In case if you really want to go like a bit deeper on it, we'll have to have that in some other class, maybe not right now. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on. So we were talking about Jyotish. So the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars, all these, the constellation. The constellation that we know, basically that is Jyotishi Dev. Okay. So whatever galaxy we know, whatever constellation we know, this is all about the Jyotishi Dev. Vyantar, I had already told you that whatever ghosts we have heard about, they are basically nothing but Vyantar Dev. Vaimanik Dev are those Dev which come only when Panch Kalyanak takes place. Have you heard of Panch Kalyanak? Anybody? You live in London, so maybe you might know the Panch Kalyanak of that place. What was the name of the place? The temple we have, the Parshnath temple. What's the name of that area? It was some name. I forgot the name of the place, maybe. It's a good name. Yeah, I know. Tell me, Darshi, what's the name of that place? Acha, I'll have to unmute you. Okay, go on. Yeah.
I don't know the name of the place, but I know the Panch Kalyana.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Basically, I only wanted to tell you about the Panch Kalyanak thing. So yeah, so whenever there is Panch Kalyanak, the people who come from heaven, like Swadharma Indra, Shachi Indrani, Kuber Indra, etc. All these come only when Panch Kalyanak take place, and these people are nothing but they are Vaimanik Devas. So basically, whatever we know of the heaven is about Vaimanik Dev only, that they live very above the sky. They are having a very nice time there. Everywhere is very cordial, and people are very jelly, lovey-dovey kind of people. So this is all about Vaimanik, what we know. But rather, Bhavanvasi, Vyantar, and Jyotish, they really have a very different kind of atmosphere. Bhavanvasi and Vyantar, as I had told you, they live on the land only. Jyotish, they live above the land, but in our access, we can look at it. Like we can look at the stars, we can look at the planets, we can look at these places like sun, moon, etc. But Vaimanik are all beyond our reach. Yes, Adi.
So what? Why can't we not see the Jyotishi Dev?
We can see the Jyotishi Dev in the form of sun and moon. Why don't we look at them as beings? So that's a very separate issue. Somebody living inside a lighthouse, you will never know who lives inside it. But somebody had to live inside the lighthouse so that the light and the process of that keeps on working. Okay.
And what about UFOs?
So that way, we know them and we do not know them. It's both ways. Okay, let's move on and we'll talk about the verse now. Okay, so you know the drill. You have to recite right after me. Let's begin. Kabahu, sorry. Kabhi काम निर्जरा करे
कभी अकाम निर्जरा करे.
Very good. भवन त्रिक में सुर तन धरे.
में सुर तन धरे.
Very good. विषय चाह दावानल दह्यो.
विषय का दह्यो.
Very good. मरत विलाप करत दुख सहयो.
मर विलाप
मरत विलाप करत दुख सहयो.
मरत विलाप करत दुख सहयो.
Wonderful. So now let's just have a look over these particular words. Kabhi means if ever. We have seen kabhi somewhere else also. We had seen kabahu. So kabahu is if ever about a place, and kabhi is about the time. So it's just the difference between space and time. Kabhi akam nirjara kare. What is akam nirjara? We are going to see it in the next slide. Bhavanatrik. As I had already told you, Bhavanatrik is nothing but 3 heavenly forms: Bhavanvasi, Jyotish, and Vyantar. Sur tan dhare means this is a type of heavenly beings. Okay, Sur means heavenly beings, Tan means body, Dhare means have. Vishaya means the objects of 5 senses. Vishaya means objects of 5 senses. Like for my eyes, this laptop is a Vishaya. For my mouth, maybe these words are coming out of my mouth. This is another Vishaya, the words that I'm speaking. If I'm touching my hairs, now this has become a part of my touch senses. So Vishaya means the object of 5 senses. Okay, whatever has become the object of 5 senses, that is called Vishaya. Chah means desire. Where did my cursor go? Yeah, Chah means the desire. And Davanal means a type of fire. So we keep on having extremely high amount of desires, and that desires makes us to have more and more objects of our five senses. Vishaya Chaha Davanal Dahyo, that means this particular desire of having or knowing more and more objects of five senses, it keeps on burning inside us. Marat, so as soon as the time of death arrives in these heavenly bodies, they get to know their time of death. So at that time they start weeping. Vilap means they start to weep, they start to cry a lot. Karat means they start to or they do. Dukh Sahyo means because of which they have to suffer a lot of pain. Okay. Sachi has told me that 1 yojan is equal to 8 miles. My dear, 1 yojan is equal to 8 miles only when you are considering it on the land. As soon as you are talking about these extraterrestrial beings, the beings like heavenly beings, the calculation turns out to be 8 miles multiplied by 50, 500. Okay, so that will be 400 miles. 1 yojan will be 400 miles. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you calculate that, you will get to know when you start calculating that particular thing, you will get your answer that 790 multiplied by that 400 miles, it will be, you know, lots and lots of kilometers, lots and lots of kilometers. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay, let's move on. So that becomes actually out of our reach. Yeah, it's okay. So now let's just have a look over the slide here. Kabahu kabhi akam nirjara kare. So if happen to do akam nirjara, I'm going to talk about it right after this slide. So if see, like we started off from Tiryansh Gati, and how does somebody get Narak Gati after Tiryansh Gati? Can somebody tell me the reason why somebody gets a Narak Gati? Good, very good. Yes, Darshi?
Someone gets Naragati because when they die, they suffer through extreme pain.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ati
Extreme.
sanklesh bhav te maryo, ghor shwabhr sagar mein paryo, which means intensified bad feelings, and because of them they go to Narak. Okay, so from Narak, how does somebody get you know, the human life form? Can somebody tell me that? Okay, Adi's telling me. Go on.
With some good feelings.
Wonderful. What was the line? But Naragati lahe. Even I am forgetting the line. It's Naragati lahe. Karam jogte Naragati lahe. So Karam jogte Naragati lahe, which means because of good deeds, this person basically leads to the human form. And from the human form, when somebody does this Akam Nirjara, they reach to heavenly form. So what is Akam Nirjara? We're going to talk about it in the next slide. Surtan Dhare means gets a heavenly life form. Bhavana Trikme means in Bhavanvasi, Vyantar or Jyotishi, any one of these three. Next is, while it is in this particular life form, Vishay Chaha Davanara Dahyo means it burned in the fire of satisfying the objects of five senses. And during this time, after a particular moment of time, when he gets to know that he's going to die, during death it starts weeping, it starts to cry a lot, and because of which it experiences heavy amount of pain. Okay, let's see. Now in this particular slide, I'd like somebody to please read this slide so that you get to know a little about Akam Nirjara and Bhavanatrik again. So yeah, I'd like to have Jaivish, if he's there, to please read this slide. Jaivish, would you please? Yeah.
Miseries.
Yeah, you're now on. Is everything going on? Are you understanding whatever we are talking about?
Yes.
Okay, please.
Birth in Bhavanatrika and its miseries. The Jeev happened to do Akamanirjara and
Akam.
hence go in
Akam.
Akam Nirjara and hence got birth in Bhavanatrika. Akam Nirjara, suffering pain without desire. Hence the Pap sheeds and the Punya grows.
Pap sheds and Punya grows.
Pap sheds and the Punya.
You know what it means by shedding?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Shedding means to destroy or partially remove a particular thing is called as shedding. Like the trees, the leaves are shed from the tree. So the leaves have started to part from the tree. So parting is called as shedding. Okay.
Hence the Pap sheds and the Punya grows.
Great.
Bhavanavasi, Vyantra and Jyotishi, form of heavenly beings.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so this is how we have understood this particular thing. Now let me tell you a little about this. Basically, what we are talking about here. Sachi, you have a question? Yeah.
Is there a different meaning for Viman in the last paragraph?
Acha, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Viman, basically. Bhavan is something which is on the land, and there is gravitation pulling it down. But rather, Viman is basically something, a house in the sky. So there's no gravitation pulling it down. It is basically on the sky only. There's no land there. And it's basically a house again. And it's the status is still similar. It has, few servants in it. It has, wives are there. Ministers are there. Different kinds of administration takes place. Again, the gatekeepers are also there. Everything is there. Okay. Sweepers are also there. So in the Vaimanic situation, the only difference is that Bhavan are on the land and Viman are hanging on the sky. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on. And sorry, I forgot your question. Hence move on. Okay. Yes, Adi?
Is it like a UFO when you hold it with an invisible string?
You can say that, but a UFO travels. Rather, this Vaimanic, this Viman stays at a particular place. It doesn't move. Okay. The Jeev happened to do Akam Nirjara and hence got birth in the Bhavanatrika. What is Akam Nirjara? So it's like this, that this might have happened with you also, that you are given a project sometime. Imagine that you are given a project, and while doing that project, you forgot your food, you forgot your other desires, you forgot your TV time, you forgot your maybe lunch time, you forgot everything else, and you were very much dedicated to that particular project, right? So this is what we are saying, that suffering pain without desire. Now you are getting to know that you are hungry, you are getting to know that your time of the TV is going away, but still you are dedicated enough to do a particular activity. This is called as Akam Nirjara. Are you getting it? So doing a particular job so intensely that you are forgetting every other desire that you have is called as Akam Nirjara. Okay. So because of this Akam Nirjara, your path starts to shed and your punya starts to grow. Okay. So your dedication is basically helping you not to go according to the situations you are getting. Rather, you are choosing to concentrate on something very good and you like doing it. Acha, now dedication can be in some other ways also, but then we are basically talking about only those dedications which are very positive in nature. Like, I'm not talking that somebody is very much dedicated to smoke or to drink or having alcohol or meat or anything. I'm basically talking about something which is very positive, doing a positive job and forgetting all your desires and your aspirations. This is what is called as Akam Nirjara. Clear? Clear, everybody? Javish, is it clear, my dear? Okay, fine. Darshi, is it okay? Darshi, did you get to know what is Akam Nirjara? Okay, I got it. So this is how we had understood Akam Nirjara. So doing a particular good job and not working on your desires help us to have Akam Nirjara, and which leads to this heaven. So basically, whatever heavenly things we are talking about are helping us to do good activities, but doing good or bad is a very separate thing than knowing yourself. So that's not the basic aspect here. The next is birth in Bhavanatrik and its miseries. So basically, these are 2 points you need to understand. The first one is the first misery of Bhavanatrik is this person, despite getting a very good place, despite getting a very good state of life form where you can have a very good lifestyle, this person starts to fulfill its deep desires and starts to satisfy his 5 senses and lives with a burning one sense starts to burn, it starts to fulfill the need of that sense. The second sense starts to burn, it starts to fulfill those particular senses. So this is how goes on in this particular Bhavanatrik, and because of which it is always unhappy. So basically the word miseries cannot be used here, but unhappinesses can be used. So I'll change that word afterwards. So during that death, it cries experiencing a lot of pain. So because of the knowledge of the death, they get to know before 6 months that they are going to die. So that particular 6 months is a particular period of time when they are absolutely dissatisfied about their life. They are very unhappy about it. As I had already told you, that if somebody comes out of the heaven, cannot again go to heaven. So hence they will either go to Tiryanch or they will go to Manushya. So Tiryanch and Manushya, both the places, they'll get to know that they will not have these privileges what they have right now, and hence they start to cry, they start to weep, they start to have all unhappinesses. Yes, Javish?
How long do they live in Devgati?
Oh, good. You remember the time period in hell? The minimum time period and the maximum time period in hell? What was that?
10,000 years and 33 sagas.
33 sagar. Exactly, that is the case with the heavenly beings also. The minimum age somebody can have in heaven is 10,000 years, and the maximum age is 33 sagar. Okay, that was a good question. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Darshi, for answering also. Okay, now let's move on. So do you have any questions from this, or should I move on? We'll just read this particular verse, and then we'll end the class. So again, you know the drill. जो विमानवासी हूँ थाय,
जो विमानवासी हूँ थाय,
very good. सम्यग दर्शन बिन दुख पाए,
सम्यक दर्शन बिन दुख पाए.
that's the most correct place where you need to join your hands. Samyak darshan bin dukh paye, and we should have samyak darshan that way. Okay. Tahte chay thavar tan dhare,
tahte chay thavar tan dhare.
Wonderful. Yo parivartan pure kare.
Yo parivartan pure kare.
Okay, great. So your parivartan pure kare. So parivartan is going back to Tiryansh life. So as I had already told you that the first dhal of this Chaidhala talks about the journey of the soul. So they started from Tiryansh Gati, they reached to Narak Gati, then to Manushya Gati, then again Dev Gati, and after Dev Gati they are again talking about the Tiryansh Gati. So that's the basic circle. Yeah, I think that's that, Sachi. Okay. Now moving on, we just have to understand this particular thing. Jo Vimanavasi hu thai. So either somebody will go to Bhavanatrik or they will go to Vimanvasi. So in case if the soul, this Jeev, goes to Vimanvasi, the Vimanvasi state of heavenly beings, Samyak Darshan bin Dukh Pai. Without Samyak Darshan, it really feels a lot of pain. Tahate chay thavar tan dhare. After this particular Devgati, maybe Vimanvasi, it again goes to Thavartan. Thavar is Sthavar. Sthavar was one sense organ beings from the Tiryansh Gati. Okay, so we had started Chaidhala from the one sense organ beings, and now we have ended it on the one sense organ beings, which is Thavar. Thavar is Sthavar. Now let's just have a look over this particular slide. Okay, it happened to be a Vimanvasi, but without right faith, it experiences unhappiness. After coming out from this particular Vimanvasi stage, it gains a Sthavara body, the body of one sense organ being, and this way it completes the vicious circle. And this is how we have studied this. So in tomorrow's class, we'll finish this particular part, and we'll have a small revision also, because we had only 4 things. And after this, maybe we'll have 2 days, we'll have another class afterwards, and you'll have 2 days holiday on the Thursday and the Friday, and on Saturday we'll have an exam. Thank you very much, everybody. Jai Jinendra. Jai Jinendra, everybody.
Thank you.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.